So I'm going here. Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Biffle, Director of Whole Brain Teaching, also known as Coach B. Dawn, introduce yourself.
Thanks. My name's Dawn McGregor. I teach first grade in Lamar's, Iowa, and I'm a Platinum Certified Whole Brain Instructor.
What we're going to do today, Dawn, is we're going to talk about Chapter 9, Starries, the Day 1 Motivator. Tell us a little bit about your experience with Starries, my good friend.
Thanks, Coach. Well, you developed this back when COVID hit and a lot of teachers were using virtual instruction. I got to teach face-to-face all throughout that period, so I used Starries when you introduced it face-to-face with my class.
Very good. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you a digital version of Starries. Here it is, right here. There's screen 1. So after you teach your class about Class Yes and some other things, here's how you use Magic Circle to get your kids so crazy involved. Class, class, class.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you, dear class.
You're welcome, dear Coach.
Mirror words.
Mirror words.
Right now.
Right now.
Guess what?
Guess what?
You're not in school.
You're not at school.
You're in a living video game.
You're in a living video game.
Right now.
Right now.
This is not a classroom.
This is not a classroom.
This is
a
living video game.
A living video game.
Teach.
Okay, right now, this is not a classroom. Right now, this is a living video game. Right now, this is not a classroom. This is a living video game. Right now.
Class, class, class.
Yes, yes, yes.
Let's think about it, class. Okay, do this. Class, class, class.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you, dear class.
You're welcome, dear Coach.
Mirror words.
Mirror words.
A living video game.
A living video game.
All you have to do.
All you have to do.
To score points.
To score points.
Is improve.
Is improve.
In whatever we do today.
In whatever we do today.
All you have to do.
All you have to do.
To score points.
To score points.
Is improve.
Is improve.
In whatever we do today.
In whatever we do today.
Teach.
Okay. In this game, all you have to do to score points is to improve in whatever we do today. In this game, to score points, all you have to do is improve in whatever we do today.
Class.
Yes.
Dawn, that's how we're going to get kids excited. We'll use the metaphor of a video game. Kids really love that. But to teachers, we want to say this, Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
We want to say no more treasure chests. Think about it, Dawn. We give away cheesy trinkets and stuff from Oriental Trading Company, and some teachers even give away candy or stuff for the student store. That's wacky. Why is it wacky? 1, we got to keep giving away more and more stuff. 2, kids get jealous. 3, they lose the stuff. But most importantly, Dawn, it deceives kids about the purpose of being in school. They think the purpose of being in school is to win junk. The purpose of being in school is to experience the joy of seeing your mind improve. No more treasure chests. Dawn, get on your soapbox and preach no more treasure chests. Go, girl.
All right, with whole brain teaching, you do not need any more of those treasure chests. We are going to motivate our students through improvement and not through the junk that we usually put in our treasure chest.
All right. So here's our second point. Our second point is, as we mentioned, you show this on day 1. and you tell kids that improvement is what's going to earn you points. And by points, we mean you draw a star in the little box. There's 100 starries, and whenever you see improvement, draw a star. And kids will then say, well, what do we get when we get to 100 starries? You love that question, Dawn. You say, what do you think? You level up to an even better game. Explain the basics of this game.
All right, thanks, Coach. So once we see students improve, they earn a point, and what we mean by that is a star. And so you'll just draw a star in one of those boxes. And as you get playing, of course, our students are going to want to know, what do we get when we get 100 starries? And the answer is you level up, just like in a video game.
All right, huge point. Everybody listen to your coach carefully. It's a long year, my friends, and everything in whole brain teaching is adjusted to the fact that kids eventually become habituated to whatever wonderful thing you're doing. So we got 100 starries, very motivating, but we're going to keep adding extra motivation. Dawn, explain the key idea here is that whatever you start with in whole brain teaching, it's got to get better and better and better. Go ahead, friend.
Yeah, thanks. So whatever we use in whole brain teaching, it has to get better and better throughout the year. We have to have new elements to unlock and add. And this combats that habituation that everybody experiences.
All right. So here we are. We've shown this. We've given a few starries. And I would say initially average about 3 to 5 starries a day. Don't be nice. Don't be mean. Be unpredictable. And you can point out one kid who's doing a good job that earns everybody a starry, or a group, or everyone. Mm-hmm. You run the game, Dawn. The game doesn't run you. Now, after a week or so, kids come in and what? What is that dice doing there? They've earned 7 starries. They need 2 more starries, and you explain. When you get 2 more starries, then we're going to roll the dice, and you might get a bonus starry. Dawn, please explain this next point. Go ahead.
All right. So after the class has earned a few starries, you're going to surprise them by adding a green die. When they reach that, they earn a dice roll for a chance at winning an extra starry.
Now, what's the dice roll? Remember, Dawn, it's a long year. So you got to keep upping the ante. You can't keep upping the ante if you don't start with a little bit in the pot. So you roll the dice. If a 1 comes up, they get a bonus starry, and you tell kids, oh yeah, celebrate. If a 2, 3, 4, or 5 comes up, the kids say, we got grit, we don't quit. And as always, a 6 is a reroll. And kids love a stinking reroll. That shows us the power of dice. Explain the dice roll at this initial level. Go, my friend.
All right, thanks, Coach. So when you use the green die, you want to have a green dice to use. You'll roll it. The only winning number is a 1. If you get a 1, everybody goes, oh yeah, and you'll add that bonus star to the chart. If you roll a 2, 3, 4, or 5, we just say we've got grit, we don't quit, and a 6 is always a reroll.
Now, Dawn, obvious question. What do we mean by improving? What can kids improve on? Well, tell us some things that you want kids to improve on in day 1, hopefully associated with the rules and classroom procedures. Go, my friend.
Thanks. Of course, rule number 1, follow directions quickly. That is an excellent starting point. Would you like some more?
Sure.
Maybe rule 2, them remembering to raise their hand for permission to speak. Rule 3, raising their hand for permission to leave their seat. Making smart choices, making our dear team stronger, having their eyes on the target.
Dawn, is there anything kids do that can't be improved on?
I don't think so, Coach. I think anything, pushing in your chair, standing up, how you sharpen your pencil.
Making new capitals, asking good questions.
Absolutely.
All right. So here we are. We're in about, let's say we're in about a month. And let's show that screen right there. Now, Dawn, let me go back one screen. There's one bonus dice.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're in quite a ways, and add more dice, more chances to win. So if you add 2 dice, then a roll of 1 or 2 gives you a bonus starry.
Mm-hmm.
If you add 3 dice, a roll of 1, 2, or 3 gives you a bonus starry. And here we are. We're in about a month or so, and you can see where the dice have appeared. And we are 1, 2, 3 slots away from getting a triple dice roll. How exciting is that? Talk about that, Dawn.
Thanks, Coach. So as the year goes on, we're going to add different dice to the Starries chart. So if you add the icon that has the 1 or 2, when you roll the dice, now you have 2 winning numbers. So if you roll a 1 or a 2, they get a starry. And then later on, there's even an icon with 3 dice. So if you roll a 1, 2, or 3, they earn a bonus star. So you know your students are going to be super excited to hit that point, and they're really going to try to improve.
Very good. Now, Dawn, here's the big question. What do you do if kids are just being too chatty or not going along, or it's Friday and they're just being a little squirrely? Dawn, let me tell you, from my heart to yours, here's what you don't do. You don't scold. You don't redirect, because scolding and redirecting doesn't work. Have you ever experienced that, my good friend?
Yeah,
That you do a lot of scolding and a lot of redirecting, and you still get lots of off-task behavior. Talk about it.
Yeah, that happens. It doesn't work. Like you say, if scolding and redirecting worked, we would have students, everybody following directions.
Right. So what do? Here's what you do. Dawn, Dawn, Dawn. Whenever you want, my good friend, you add the dreaded backslider arrow. So here you are in about week 1 or 2, and the kids have been squirrely. So you don't scold them, you endure it, Dawn. They're out to recess, and you put in the red backslider arrow, which they've never seen before, and you explain, here's what you're going to do. You explain this way. Class, class, class.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you, dear sweet class.
You're welcome, dear sweet coach.
Mirror words.
Mirror words.
Oh no!
Oh
The dreaded backslider arrow.
no! The dreaded backslider arrow.
We're back 2 stars.
We're back 2 stars.
We've got to re-earn those stars
We have to re-earn those stars
to get to that 3-spot dice roll.
to get to that 3-spot dice roll.
Oh no!
Oh no!
We lost some stars.
We lost some stars.
We got to re-earn them
We have to re-earn them
to get to that wonderful 3-spot.
to get to that wonderful 3-spot.
Teach.
Okay. Oh no! We lost 3 stars from that dreaded backslider arrow. Now we have to re-earn them to get to that 3-spot. Oh no! We've lost some of our stars.
Class, class, class.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, Dawn, please listen to your coach. If you're the basketball referee, and I know you're very into softball, etc. So let's take softball. You're into softball. The umpire doesn't stop the game and scold the players. The umpire doesn't say, come on, pitcher, that's 3 balls in a row. Can you at least throw the ball over the plate? The umpire doesn't scold the hitter for striking out. The game does the redirection. The rules of the game keep the players involved in the game. Once you have the backslider arrow, you don't scold or redirect. Let the game readjust behavior. Talk about that. with real excitement, Dawn.
All right. Thank you. I love that connection to sports. Yeah, in sports, your umpires, your referees, they don't scold or redirect. The rules of the game themselves keep the players motivated and know what's the right and wrong thing to do.
Very, very good. Now, Dawn, we said that this game has to last a long time, so we're going to have to keep upgrading the ante. Here we are. You and I, Blue. We're in like the last third, and it's up to you how long this is going to take. But you have started dropping in challenge icons. A C challenge icon means no one's getting any points until I hear lots of compliments. Or a question mark challenge icon. Oh, down here, no one's getting any Starries until I hear lots of Wonder Words questions. Some more Wonder Words questions. Some more Wonder Words questions. Ask me questions about what I'm teaching. You'll never get past these three. Or a timer icon, which means, let's see if you can beat your class record in rehearsing the rules. You put up the challenge icons, add variety, increase engagement, keep the game fresh. You can even put up a target and say, what I'm looking for is people improving and raising their hand for permission to speak. Explain the joy of keeping the game fresh with challenge icons. Go, Dawn.
Yeah, thanks. This is genius. Adding these options to upgrade the game and keep it fresh as we go. So the question mark, when you put one of those, you're expecting your students to ask Wonder Words questions about your lesson. The C is for compliments. And of course, we want our students complimenting one another. That's all about glorious kindness. The timer is you can challenge your students to break a record they have. Maybe it's following directions quickly, the blurty challenge. Then the target, maybe you have a specific goal you have in mind for this lesson, and they'll earn Starries for that specific goal.
All right. All right, so the kids get 100 Starries, and it could take a month or 2 months. 25 stars a week, that's a month. It's up to you. And then you go to the next game, which is Super Improver. But listen to me, Dawn. As we say in the book, which book was that? Oh, yeah, this book. As we say in the book, this is such a good game. You could play it all year. And we really believe that when kids are playing video games, they play one game, then they play another game, they play another game. What if all the games that kids played were linked together? Here's how you link these together. You get them going on Super Improver, reward for individual improvement. Starries rewards for class improvement. And then you say, you know what? If I could see a little bit of improvement in following directions quickly, maybe we'll play Starries after lunch. And how do you play Starries after lunch after you removed 100? You tell the kids, when you get 10 Starries, everybody in Super Improver gets a star, and we roll the dice to see if everyone gets another star. So you keep playing Starries, and it feeds into Super Improver, and you can do that shift up whenever you need to. And the longer you go in teaching, the more little tweaks you're going to need. Talk about Starries all year, Dawn. Go ahead.
All right, thanks, Coach. We know students switch from one video game to another, but wouldn't it be awesome if these all connected? So even once you get your 100 Starries and you unlock Super Improver, you can continue to throw in the Starries game. And after 10 Starries, everybody wins one Super Improver star and a dice roll for an additional star. So this will keep it fresh all year long.
And Dawn, here's a question I know we're going to get, so let's answer it in advance. Teachers are going to say, well, how do I keep track of this? I always forget to play Starries. What do I do? Simple answer, Dawn. And I want you to be the star of this next year because I know you're good at it already, Blue. Now, this is not a crazy idea. You list your classroom schedule on the board each day. You put in the place where you're going to be playing Starries. So you say everything before that is practice. for Starries. And then put another Starries in the afternoon. Now listen, Dawn. I don't even know if this is in the book, but I think it is. Once the schedule is up, you control the schedule. It doesn't control you. Kids are doing really good. You say, wait a second, we're not supposed to play Starries for another hour. We're playing a bonus game of Starries right now. So when you want, reward the kids with early Starries. Or you forget about it and the kids remind you, oh, wait a second. Ms. McGregor, aren't we supposed to play Starries now? You say, yes, we are, because it's on the schedule. Or Dawn, you're going along and things are not going too well. You walk over to the board, scratching your cheek and say, well, no Starries today. We need to practice before we play Starries. So the agenda has 3 options. 1, play it early. 2, play it on time. 3, don't play it and practice some more. You control the game. It doesn't control you. Talk about the 3 options on the agenda. Go, girl.
All right, thanks, Coach. A lot of teachers wonder, how do I keep track of all these different games? Well, you plan it out. You decide when in your day you're going to play these games, and you can even post it on your schedule. And then you have some options here. So maybe I have Starries scheduled for the afternoon. Maybe my kids are doing so awesome that I decide, you know what, we're going to play early. Or I'm going to play when it's scheduled. And then the third option is, you know what, our day isn't going so great. We're going to take the game off, and we still need to practice. We're not ready to play yet.
All right. Let's look at a good question here from Kathleen McKinney, who is a rising star. I'm starting to see her name. If I'm departmentalized, should I lower the number of stars that they have to earn before a super improver? Kathleen, listen to Blue and Coach. You can give away 5 Starries at a time if you want. 1 Starry, whatever you need to pace as you wish. So give away lots of Starries and departmentalize. That's pretty dang exciting. But don't worry. You've got Super Improver to back you up. You can play Starries again. And we have a brand new version of departmentalized Super Improver coming out, Alpha Hawk League. So there's lots of stuff to give away. Great question. Here's Lori Schaefer. I have alarms set for so many things on my watch. I'm going to add alarms to remind me to play games. What do you think about that one?
Nice.
What do you think, Dawn?
I like that idea. Whatever you need to get you in the habit of playing these games. Absolutely.
All right. Now, scoreboard. Where does scoreboard fit in? Listen, everyone. We have 4 motivational games. Starries is our day 1, right out of the chute, whole class motivator, but you can also use it to reward individual kids. Their names just don't go up. So you need that. Super Improver is the individual motivator, targeting individual kids. Scoreboard is another whole class motivator, and Bullseye to motivate beloved rascals. In my view, Dawn, you stay with Starries as long as possible. It's a long year. Then you do scoreboard, then you do Super Improver with some Starries intermittently. Then you go to scoreboard, and scoreboard is your main thing. And when you win on scoreboard, that gives everybody a Super Improver star. Yes, you're juggling lots of balls, but you're dealing with kids whose minds are wandering. New game, but it all fits into Super Improver. Talk about, what was your strategy last year, Dawn?
Yeah, thanks. I know I started with Starries first. Then I'm pretty sure I unlocked Super Improver. And like you said, we control the game. It doesn't control us. And I needed Super Improver unlocked. So I think I started giving 5 Starries at a time to get there. And then after Super Improver, then I did introduce scoreboard. And it seems overwhelming at first, but once you play each one, you're going to switch between game to games, just like our students switch game to game playing video games.
And what you do is you use that magic agenda.
Yep.
You put in super improver here. Oh, you put in scoreboard here. Maybe all day we're just playing Starries. Maybe all afternoon we're just playing scoreboard. It all fits together. When you get 10 Starries, that's a super improver star. When you get a super improver star, that's a super improver star. When you win on scoreboard, that's a super improver star. Now, here's a great question. Can you explain a little more about the difference between practicing and actually playing? You don't award Starries when practicing. When playing, is it a time period? Absolutely. So we're practicing. So we know in the next 30 minutes, we have Starries coming up on the scoreboard, on the agenda. So we're playing along and say, you know what, Jack, you keep doing that. That's going to earn everybody a star. Back row, I love seeing your focus. If we're playing Starries now, that would earn everybody a point. You know, what I'm really looking for today is people raising their hand, not just ask permission to speak. I want people raising their hand and asking me questions about what I'm teaching. Let me see some of that. Let's practice asking questions about what I'm teaching. Good. Remember how you did that. Because as soon as I start my Starries timer, that's for real. So we're saying, Dawn, all day you're either practicing playing a game or you're playing a game. Why? Kids' minds wander and it's a long year. Talk about that.
Thanks, Coach. So when we're practicing, what we're really doing is just pointing out to our class, what have they just done that would earn a Starry if we were really playing? So you're coaching them along, complimenting them, and letting them know you're on the right track. When we play this game, I know you're going to earn Starries for our class.
Would you keep it locked until then? Yes, Dawn, this is a whole new webcast, but we want to lock up everything in the classroom that we're not using on day one. We put a lock over every rule. We put a lock over every wonder word. We put a lock over every brainy. We put big locks all over the scoreboard. We have a huge Alpha Hawk Island. We'd lock it up. Why? When kids come into the classroom, you're keeping your word. This is a living video game. You're inside it. And instead of playing on a little cheesy tablet, you're playing on a screen as big as this whole campus. Explain the power of locking things up. Go, Dawn.
Yeah, thanks, Coach. So in video games, you have to do more activities to unlock things. And if we're really going to make our classroom a living video game, we need to have all of our games and activities locked up as well.
All right. Here is a great question. With Starries, is there one goal or target for the class to improve? Is it the whole day or could you change? Again, you control the game doesn't control you. Blue said she likes to start day one on following directions quickly, and I think that's a great place to start. Everyone can speed up how quickly they get their books out. Get your books out, put them away, get out a piece of paper, put your name on it, put it away, stand up, sit down. Lots and lots and lots of directions, and when we see improvement, Jack, Maria, Harry, keep going a little bit faster. You're going to earn the whole class a Starry. Explain how initially we want to start with rule one. Go ahead.
Thanks, Coach. So initially, you're just going to start with rule one, follow directions quickly, because we know our time with our students is precious and we need them to improve. So that's a great starting point.
Now, as soon as possible, your coach, who taught college for 40 years, wants you to reward kids for asking wonder words questions. That to me is the ultimate. You do a lesson, you ask kids to ask wonder words questions about that lesson. We want them academically engaged. Now, here is a very common question. We're almost out of time. Dawn, super improver, is it the same goal for each student, or does each kiddo have their own goal? If they have their own goal, how do you track students' goals when you have 20 kids? Listen to me. I'm going full screen here, Dawn. Just watch me. Listen to me. Do not have each kid have their own goal. That's too many balls to juggle, and they're going to fall on your head. Have the whole class focused on one goal, following directions quickly, raising your hand for permission to speak, keeping your eyes on the target, especially asking great questions. One goal for everyone, but if you see someone improve in something that isn't the goal, give them a super improver star. Do not give each kid individual goals. The falling balls that you're juggling are going to put knots on your head. Dawn, would you just emphatically tell our dear sister and brother teachers why we do not want to give each kid a goal and super improver? Go.
Thanks, Coach. No, it's too overwhelming. Those are way too many balls to juggle. So one general goal for everyone, but then you've got flexibility here. Whenever you see an improvement on anything, you can give a student a star. So you're not locked into that one goal, and you're not locked into every student having their own goal either.
All right, we thank you very much, my friends. We try to keep these within half an hour. This was all about Starries. And I'm telling you, if you listen to the end of this video, we're designing a game called Alpha Hawk League, in which classes around the world can compete against each other and see their standings on a Google map. Just put that up this morning. Dawn, explain how thrilled you are if we can make Alpha Hawk League work, and that you can be competing against Shanghai and Dubuque and all of New Jersey. Talk about it.
Thanks, Coach. So there's a new game in the works, Alpha Hawk League, where everyone, Super Improver League?
Alpha Hawk World League. We're
Alpha
changing
Hawk
the
World
title
League.
every few minutes here,
Well,
girl.
yeah, there we go. Where there would be Google Sheets that would line up together, and we could put in our scores and compete with people all around the world using whole brain teaching.
All right. God bless us all. We'll see you down the road. Stay tuned here on Super Improver, and please put up a thank you note for Dawn McGregor, whose street name is Blue, and for Nancy Stoltenberg, who is our wondrous director of certification. It's all about them. It is all about them. I'm just a college teacher. What do I know about teaching elementary and secondary? Only what I've learned from my colleagues. See you down the road.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everybody.